the line. We've got some pretty handy riders behind us, Brian, and Stefan Rossetto is known to us. He went well in Yorkshire, didn't he?
Yeah, he got third in the first stage, fourth overall in that race, and you know, he is a threat. He's probably, of the five that came over the top of that climb there, he's probably the fastest sprinter. I didn't think that Contador would risk anything this close to the Tour de France on the descent, but obviously he thought on the incline he wasn't getting rid of Quintana. This is his best chance. He wants to try and win. Although he's just come from winning the Giro d'Italia, this would be a good win, a good stage win, and obviously the effort of his team, he wants to try and repay them. So he's decided to risk a little bit, maybe not as much as Bardet did in the Dauphiné, but he's certainly looking behind, seeing what distance he has in Quintana. But Quintana can also descend as well, so this race is not over.
No, not over at all, and we just wait to see whether Stefan Rossetto, the 28-year-old Frenchman, as we said, who did such great things into Scarborough, you may remember, as well. Quick man. So, what about Quintana? Ever since he came off on that climb, was it a climbing time trial in that really hurt him, bit him deep? I've always been a little, I think he's always a little bit worried about descending. I think you carry the memory of crashes. Remember when he went towards the barriers, he looked...
Yeah, that was the Vuelta last year.
The Vuelta, yeah, last year. He just looked so... I don't know, does that shake you?
It does, but you know, they're young guys, straight back on the bike. He's, you know, back to confidence. He's only down the speed that these riders are doing, that's only a matter of, I would say, not more than 10 seconds, maybe 8 seconds at that.
It's 9, I've just timed it.
Have you? I was wondering where you went quiet there.
There you are, but you said between 8 and 10, and 9 is exactly that number. There is Latour. I was timing it. It's easy to do, by the way, at home, if you just pick something at the side of the road and then just start counting. If you're good at counting seconds, which of course in broadcasting you have to be, you have to know when to shut up. Don't answer that.
Yeah, shut up.
14.2 kilometres to go. And just look at this. They're coming, though, you know, and Rossetto is on the case. I think Contador realises that. He's always been a man, when he's within sight of victory, he will go for it. He can't help himself.
He will. He will. With the team that's been on the front pretty much all day controlling things, you can just see Contador just in front of Quintana, but more so Latour is just behind, and if they can combine together and bring back Contador, you still got Sepulveda and Rossetto on the descent just behind them. So it's not over. Still 13.6 kilometres to go to the finish. It's going to be really exciting all the way in. Contador knows he's not got a lot of time. He glances behind in one of the straighter sections to see how much time he has on Quintana. You
know, a lot of you, I know, very much love an uphill finish. A lot of you like a sprint finish. I love a descending finish, I've got to say. The Bardet day, for me, on the Dauphiné was just something to behold.
It was, and it was an exciting stage, exciting finish, and yeah, hats off to Bardet for the way he took that on, and you know, smart thinking over the top of that climb. But his teammate Latour, he's done himself proud. He went on the attack. He's crested the top of this climb with two of the most gifted climbers in the world, and he's still in it. He's still in with a great opportunity of you know, winning this stage and winning the overall.
Yeah, Bardesque, I think we'll probably start calling him. Just go for it, suspend all your fear, and just, well, try and lean on the skills you have when it comes to this sort of thing. 12.7 kilometres to go. It's downhill for much of it. There are a few little rampslets, as you can see. This is just one of those. A slight kick up, very gentle, virtually flat, and then they'll be going downhill again. Quintana, you know, we said he keeps his emotions very much to himself. We've seen on occasion he's had to deal with internal team rivalries. Likewise, Contador, they're men who show great fortitude while keeping their peace, at least on the exterior. And you've got to admire that. They've got great reserves of self-belief and indeed control. Yeah,
I think Quintana, from when he kind of burst onto the scene, I think it was back in 2012, when he won Vuelta a Murcia. He's just a quiet rider, small, doesn't doesn't show a lot of confidence, although what we've just seen of the chat between himself and Contador on the Porte de Bay was interesting, and he stayed calm, and that's the type of rider he is. He isn't overly confident. Maybe in press conferences and various other media platforms, he talks a good game, but he seems nice, quiet, lovely person from what I've seen from the outside. Contador a little bit more controversial, a little bit more bold. Latour has been one of the rides of this race so far, but he seems to be getting distanced a little bit by Quintana. Is Quintana getting a lot closer to Contador now?
It's still very, very close.
It's a pursuit.
It's 8 seconds.
Is it?
He's found a second.
No, stop being quiet.
Oh, in fact, there it is. It says 8.
7 now.
He's on a charge. There we are. Well, I'm glad they agreed with my timekeeping. Oh, he's really starting to motor right now, as you can see. Bit between his teeth. So, Contador, will he be tempted to go again? Of course he will. And there's a little incline, as you can see, on the descent. Don't worry, there's still plenty more descending to happen. It's almost like a roller coaster ride, this absolutely wonderful road.
It is getting close to 10 kilometres to go now. Contador was looking behind, is getting a lot closer. But this is still going to be interesting all the way in towards the finishing line.
Just over 10 kilometres to go. Alberto Contador tried to shake Quintana in the descent. Once they've got over the top of the Porte de Bay, it was terrific to see Contador and Quintana just riding together. Tempo changes, almost trying to shock away Quintana in terms of the pace. Didn't happen. And this man, Pierre-Roger Latour, he's a man who often sits in the shadows of Bardet these days, I guess, and other perhaps bigger names like Christophe Riblon. Well, he shook off all of those from his team, and right now, today, he's doing a fantastic job. Bardet's not here, but Riblon certainly is. And this man is Latour as well. Can he get back to them? Well, he's got to watch. We haven't seen much of Stefan Rossetto, who is pacey when it starts to flatten out towards the end. We're getting there, but we haven't seen hide nor hair of the man from Cofidis just yet. I suspect he may well suddenly hove into view. Contador still got a little bit of belief right now that if it does go mano a mano all the way to the line, that he's going to have it. We will have our winner from those up the road today. So many, in fact, the 6 who are on today's stage out front are all by one of them within 13 seconds of the lead. The leader, incidentally, Tronet, distance on the climbs today, and not least up the Porte de Bay. Contador really has got the bit between his teeth, but he can't shake Quintana. He's tried so many times. Constantly
looking behind. He knows Quintana is only a matter of seconds just behind him. The thing is, Contador is taking a few risks. I'm not saying he's going down this 100%, but he is taking a few risks. He wants to try and stay away. There's still just over 8 kilometres to go to the finish. He knows that Quintana is there, but if Quintana comes up to Contador, then I think they're going to ease off, and that means that Latour can come back to them. Latour is the rider losing time. He's 18-20 seconds down, but if Quintana comes back to Contador, then they'll ease up. Latour could come back. Even Rossetto and Sepulveda could come back, because what we've seen so far on the climb is Quintana and Contador looking at each other. If both of these riders want to win this race and take it down to the sprint, I think Contador would be the fastest of the two riders in front. But it's going to be intriguing all the way in. This race is not over for any of these 5 riders.
All the risks that Contador is taking through the curves, and that's pedalling out of them. You can see the inner pedal is lifted up right now, and then you have to gauge your bike angle entirely to save yourself grounding a pedal and bringing yourself off. It's not a nice thing to come into right now, and just getting spat out of the corner. You see Quintana's not taking them quite the same way. He's not got quite the lines that Contador has got. The gambles that Contador's taking through the curves and the drive out of them, he's got great lines, has actually found him just 3 seconds within the last, K. It's a difficult thing to actually impose yourself on a descent, especially when you've got such narrow margins and the pace is so high. Just for the time being as well, they've got He's got 20 seconds on Latour, and I suggest Latour may well be within sight, or Stefan Rossetto may have Latour within his sights. 8 seconds now is the gap that Contador holds over Quintana. Quintana not comfortable through some of those curves. You could see it. He double-checked his line through them, Brian, sat up within the curve and basically took a hexagon through what should have been a smoother line.
Yeah, they are taking different lines through the corner. We've seen that on a number of occasions on this descent. Still hanging in there. Quintana was coming back, got to within 4 seconds. Contador put some more effort in, but sometimes this happens. If you go into a corner and get it wrong, it kind of knocks your confidence back, and it does look as if Quintana hasn't got full confidence, as much confidence as Contador has in front of him, and that's why the gap is just yo-yoing between 5 and 10 seconds. This man is a further 10 seconds behind them and about 20 seconds down. Still yet to see where Rossetto and Sepulveda are, but getting close to 5 kilometers to go. Still it hangs in the balance. This is the man that wants to win the stage and won the overall. He was matched by Quintana on the ascent, but in the descents, it's Contador showing the way.
It is. He's into double figures. He's up to 10 seconds. So he's found 6 seconds back with his aggressive style through some of these curves. Quintana tried to stay with him. In fact, he was closed down to about 4 seconds and suddenly had a shaky moment through a curve, and he's just eased off the pace ever so slightly. Quintana, that is. Contador himself, as you can see, is on full chat at the moment, and there is Quintana, and you can see just taking a moment to clear his nasal passages, and sits at 10 seconds behind Contador right now, and I think it's possibly a bit more than that. We'll see whether see how he goes through, for instance, this one. This is a shaky one. You have to flick right and then left all the way through. Will he check up within the corner? Spits out towards, yes he does. Just changes his angle as the wall rapidly approaches. Just getting it wrong yet again and loses another second.
Yeah, it's going to come down to 2 seconds in the end. Contador is in front. Quintana is trying to bring back Contador, and he got to within 4 seconds. Now the gap going up a little bit. I think just towards the bottom of this climb, it does look as if Quintana just lost a little bit of his confidence and himself, the way he's going round some of these corners, and even further back now, Latour is at 30 seconds. So it does look as if into the final few kilometres now that this is a battle between Contador and Quintana. I'm saying it's not over for Quintana. Contador has to go all the way towards the line.
He does. 3.6 seconds, 3.6 kilometres, 12 seconds is the gap to Quintana. Sorry for that mashup. Right now, this is our man, though, and I think he's going to carry it all the way. Contador out of the saddle on a flatter section, not something you want to engage with right now, and he's gritting his teeth. It's the road is now not a danger, but maybe Latour is, and maybe still Stefan Rossetto. Haven't seen how far back Rossetto is, and they've knocked out the clock on Latour, which suggests it might have been in error. We'll see. The distance between Contador and Quintana looks true at 12 seconds right now, but they're on the flat and 2.9 to go, and by the cadence that's being displayed by Quintana, I think he knows that Contador has gone and will win today.
Well, Quintana has to just give it 100%. Just seeing the point of the saddle now. He wants to come back to Contador. He got to within 4 seconds. I'm not saying he messed up in any of the corners. He just lost a little bit of the confidence in a few of the corners towards the bottom of this climb. We're pretty much off the most technical parts of this climb, but we still got a little bit of this descent still to go. And Quintana now struggling to make it back up to Contador. And it looks as if Contador is going to take the stage and the overall victory.
It is. You can see Bagnon de Luchon occasionally on some of the switchbacks. You look down the valley, so we're still going downhill all the way. 2.4 kilometres to go, and Hitz is going to be the first man into town. Bagnon de Luchon, the baths of de Luchon. A lot of these places down at Heel these days, people generally have got their own jacuzzis, but there is some hot springs to be enjoyed, and I suspect that this man is going to rest easy in one of those sulphurous pools later on today. Checks behind him, 2 kilometres to go. This is easy stuff right now for this man after putting in so much today. Burnt his team as we suspected he would. They did most of the pacing. It seems battle of attrition is something he likes, and he thrives on it.
Still looking constantly behind him. He's curious. Again, no race radios in this race, so it's only visual contact with the riders behind. So Contador going down this descent constantly constantly looking behind him to see what this man is. But it does look as if close to the kilometre to go now, that the 12 seconds is going to be enough to take Contador into the leader's jersey and give him the stage win.
So into town they come. This is Quintana, P2, 12 seconds back. Don't forget, it's 10, 6 and 4 seconds bonus at the line. Past the Flamme Rouge goes Contador, and out of the saddle he stands right now. He's got a right-hander coming up before you know it. There is Quintana, and the gap is true, but the clock's out. Here we go. There is that turn, and right now he's got a left-hander to go with about 600 meters remaining, and then it will be a cruise to the line. Little ramp, nothing like he's taken on today. He's announced himself that he is back, he's on great form. Not only that, he's measured himself against another great and one of the out-and-out favourites for the Tour, Nairo Quintana. He's measured himself, he's stood tall, and he's going to take the victory today. This is very good news for Contador.
Yeah, it looked a little bit laboured, but that's expected after coming out of Grand Tour, the first mountain, maybe finding his legs. He looked a little bit laboured in that climb. Quintana looked the strongest, was equal to match him, but in the descents, Contador shows his class.
Alberto Contador. Last year, he won the Vuelta. He won the Giro. He's hoping to win the Tour de France. Today, he looks like he has just gone and won the Route de Sud with victory here at Bagnères de Luchon. Contador's here. The pistol is fired. It's a starting pistol for his run to the Tour. And what a run he's had today. Quintana finishing in second place. He doesn't want us to be saying that at the end of the Tour de France itself. We look back, it's a very brave run by Pierre-Roger Latour. Not Bardet, he's not in this race, but AG2 à la Mondiale have found another rider capable of just opening his heart and just delivering a gutsy performance. Latour in third place, chapeau to him, possibly one of the